What's up, everyone, and welcome to the final round, front nine, here at the 2022 Las Vegas Challenge. This is the first stop of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. You're watching it here on Gatekeeper Media. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is Nathan Queen. How are you, man? We've made it to the final day.
We're finally here, the fourth and final round here at Wildhorse Golf Club. We're playing the Innova course again, and we've had some hot scores so far. Specifically Drew shooting 13 down on this Innova course during the second round.
Yeah, he's looking to make a charge. And checking in with our card today, we got Ricky Wysocki, Anthony Barela, Scott Withers, and Garrett Gurthie. Not a lot of separation between our card and the lead card, only a handful of strokes. Let's check in here. 4 strokes off the lead, 2 of our players. So definitely, on this final day, a lot of people say round 3 is moving day, but really still some movement to be done here on the end of a course. Let's check in with Ricky's bag here. He is, of course, putting the dagger he's so well known for. Leaning a lot, of course, on the Felon, the Orbit Edition specifically, and he's going to be throwing the Compass a good amount too. Very straight mid-range. If the wind picks up, maybe lean into the Justice. Anthony Barela's bag check here. He is putting the Whales this season, new to him. Used to putt different, but also, changed up the putt a little bit. He's ripping on the Gator, also Rock 3s, and his signature series T-Bird 3s. He's going to throw a lot of those in a lot of different angles today. Scott Withers, sponsored by Discraft, and be putting the special blend Lunas. Leans a lot on this ESP Buzz, and then a handful of drivers here, but really crushes on to those Forces and the Nukes, especially on this long course here at Innova. And finally, let's get to Garrett Gurthie's bag, sponsored by Innova Discs, putting the KC AVR, known to throw those Color Glow Rock 3s, really on holes where everyone else is throwing fairways and drivers, and then really leaning into those Halo Destroyers.
Yeah, and right into hole 1, 353 feet. Pretty good starting hole. You've got OB down this cart path all the way down the right side. And very minimal wind today, so very attackable. You could go with a right-handed backhand, steep hyzer if you wanted to sit, or you could, for these guys, even disc down to a mid-range for a soft landing. But of course, forehand is still quite a good play.
Yeah, and if they shorten this pin, I feel like the forehand really becomes attackable for more players that didn't throw it in previous years. And with that tree being closer, it feels like a really good play if you got it.
Ricky's got it a bit wide, I think, on this one, but it could fight back pretty hard. He'll have a circle 2 look.
That's a common mistake for that forehand, just hanging out just a touch too much and doesn't skip all the way up the hill, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a safer miss than sawing it off a little bit.
Right.
You could go OB.
And Barela has an absolute cannon of a forehand. Looking to put this one close for sure.
Yeah, you can see he's still going all hyzer here for 353 feet and just absolutely pins it. Incredible forehand.
One of the higher lines we've seen too here.
Yeah, what a great way to start.
Yeah, and Scott Withers out of Oregon. If you've played in the Northwest, you have heard of this man. Quick fact here, he has a 45% win ratio in PDGA events. 45% of wins.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. He plays a lot up in the Northwest, and 45% wins, you can't really argue much with that.
No, dude knows how to close it out. Let's see if he can do it today, taking the forehand as well.
Yeah, he's got sneaky distance both ways.
Oh,
and,
favorable roll, yeah.
Sneaky little roll there. He'll be about 18 feet now for his birdie.
Chase card at 23 under par. Garrett Gurthie.
And as you expected here, Garrett looks like he's discing down to the mid-range, control that left to right movement. At just 350 feet, it does surprise me that more people don't kind of go with this play.
And he's gotten that out wide to the right. And has done so well. He's sitting inside the circle, probably about 25 feet long with his mid-range on this 350-foot hole.
Out of the hand, he immediately just turned away and was like, yeah, that'll work. Ricky from probably mid-circle 2 here to start the round. Just low there.
Yeah, that's a good look. Ricky's used to making those, I think, though. It's always what you want to start the round, get your birdie. Let's see if Garrett can get it done.
Oh, it kicks out just left. You can see that flag not moving at all. So different than when we were here in round 2.
Yeah, just a little bit soft on that one.
Yep.
Still could have stayed, though.
And Scott, even from the short distance, just going through the motions, knowing every stroke counts here on this final day.
And gets it done nicely. Nice to see him take his time, get fully set there. You know, it's easy to rush when you're close and not fully appreciate the situation.
It's true. Barela getting to the birdie as well. Going to be a par for Gurthie and Wysocki to start it off. As we move into hole 2, one of the shortest holes on the course, and really the only gap kind of hallway hole we have here at Innova. 270 feet, par 3, quite a low ceiling. Most common play here is going to be a mid-range, maybe even a putter backhand. We've seen the turnover putter with that kind of approach range disc really to control the angle all the way down the fairway. But if you're not really inside the circle, not really going to have a look at it with how low those branches are on the green.
And it looks like Anthony going with that mid-range here. And looks pretty nice if he can get a good slide forward. It looks like he's close to circle's edge there. Just a little bit low out of the hand.
Scott going mid-range as well.
And he's got this one a little bit low as well. He'll slide up there in the circle too. You can see that branch hanging there. We'll see if that has any impediment in his putt.
Yeah, Ricky going to show us the forehand line. I feel like the forehand line, if you have this kind of shape, really does tend to just stay up a little bit more. It gets to carry in. If it does have stability at the end, it gets there a little easier.
Yeah, if you get this angle right, then I do believe this is the play to float all the way there.
Yep, and it
He
is.
gets up there and catches that last stump, which is only about 20, 23 feet away. Great shot from Ricky.
And at just 270, like with it being such a low ceiling, it feels like it does play a little bit longer. If you hit the ground, you're expecting to be closer than you are.
And a little high out of Garrett here. It does get up there through the trees a little bit, but that'll be a tough look. Pretty low ceiling.
Trying to spin one in here. Just a little bit left, but easy work for the par here on 2 for Gurthie.
Looks like Scott trying to take full advantage of that disc width that he gets in his stance, trying to get all the way left. Still ends up catching that branch though.
Yeah, Barela's distance to the pin here just enough to be there, but you can see he's an incredibly tall guy, just brushing his head there on the branch.
Yeah, it might not be in his disc's way, but
No.
he is hitting his head on that branch.
Good putt there, and really the first true putt of the round for him after he parked hole 1 to kind of get some momentum behind it and start feeling it.
Yeah, 2 for 2 start is what you want going into the last round, starting to get some confidence, making that move.
Yeah, it's what you're going to need today. Again, the conditions are prime for scoring. I mean, we talked about it in round 2, expectations maybe in that 10, 12, 13, range. And I mean, we could even see more than that when this wind is down here on the end of a course.
And Garrett able to connect for the par. So a couple pars, couple birdies on both holes so far for this final round, and that brings us into hole 3, 270-foot par 3. Most players are going to throw a soft putter or mid-range out to the right, hanging out a little wide so it has some room to skip back towards the pin. As long as you don't push it too far and don't come up too short, then it's a pretty easy hyzer shot. You just got to get these other elements out, especially today with no wind. It should be a fairly simple shot here.
Yeah, and as the drone flew there, that lane there on the left side, the forehand, or if you're a lefty, the backhand has gotten smaller and smaller with the growth of that tree, and also the trees here as Barela nearly takes out some small birds, but puts it straight on to the green. And we are in an elevated basket as well. And this is another one, we've talked about it, I believe, on the Infinite course on hole 1, is it's one that is so easy to push long. You have this elevated tee thrown kind of downhill and OB right behind it.
Yeah, and the grass plays very quickly also.
Yeah.
So easy to push wide, but all these players push long, all these players are getting that wide shot, and you see that even after it hit the ground and slowed down, like it sped up again and almost was trying to reach that path back there.
Kind of sound like the hedgehog style, ready to get on going, but thankfully he does stay. Let's see if Scott can make a correction and put a little bit closer. Lower line here.
And he kind of hits the face of that hill there, I think, and takes his skip. He had a pretty low arm speed, it looked like also.
Yeah.
Maybe just not quite enough spin to really get that forward skip.
And Garrett kind of powering down here, taking more of the inside line. I like this play.
And absolutely parks it. Yeah, I like that sharp angle on this disc. You can see how little momentum he's really going to put into this, and just a lot of snap right at the end of it. Just for that little bit of speed he needs with that higher speed disc.
Yeah, it's a different play for sure, and I mean, it's worked out perfectly for him. Scott from mid-circle 2 here. Just never really a chance with the way that wind's blowing and that water's so close. It's kind of that you got to keep it low and hope it lifts up, but that's a good miss here with the wind coming in as a headwind.
Yeah, this is the most wind I've seen on the day so far. A little surprising to see that here.
Yeah. Ricky from Circle's Edge is pretty strong right to left. Let's get pushed down, and that'll be tap in par. It's frustrating here on what I believe is the shortest hole in the course.
So AB here with a kind of a headwind putt to get 3 for 3 to start the round. Able to nail it.
AB really setting the tone here on the card. Rest of our guys here just trying to get started, trying to figure out, like you said, the wind's picking up randomly, and the conditions, like we said, are calm. But man, 3 for 3 is a good start here. Scott able to make the par.
Yeah, even there from 12, 15 feet, you could see that disc raise pretty far. And Garrett with an absolute tap in.
Not range on those baskets, looking for a nice dunk, but tap in will do.
Bringing us into hole 4, 377-foot par 3. Pretty straight shot here. The trees have grown, making the high hyzer a little bit more difficult. And you really just want to get something out flat with a little bit of drift to the right to finish back to the left. I doubt we'll see many forehands. This seems to play better with a right to left play rather than a left to right.
Yeah, and carrying on from the hole before, we did have a kind of right to left wind, still continuing, just kind of swirling on this part of the course. And with this little hill, you're going to see getting it too low is very easy to do. This looks pretty good if it can stay up.
This looks great from AB. It's going to hyzer back a little bit and get that slide. He's up inside the circle and now has a chance to go 4 for 4.
Garrett going to the mid-range. We've seen good amount of people do this too. It being such a such a straight shot, it does kind of favor this minimal left to right movement, and this looks like a great height.
Yeah, great height and goes very straight. Doesn't quite get the right movement on it, so he has a downhill putt there from somewhere around circle's edge.
Ricky going mid-range again, sticking to the game plan from round 2. You see that flag moving.
He does get this moving right, and that right to left wind kind of grabs the top flight plate. Once it does turn over and holds it over, he'll be just outside the circle with a less scary putt than Garrett as he's putting uphill with a tailwind.
Yeah, definitely opposite, and a wind that Ricky does like to putt in, with that nose down push putt he has. It's a little more momentum behind it.
And the hyzer flip stand up here does pretty well for Scott. He's inside the circle also. We'll have Ricky up first, probably 46, 47 feet.
Yeah, now no wind here as we can see. It's kind of dying down. Oh, just right side chains, really good height from that distance, and it is just an expectation we've kind of built for Ricky to make those mid-circle 2 putts. Just a little bit off, but not off is Scott picking up another birdie here. Good putt.
Yeah, right around circle's edge. Didn't really seem to rush it, and just jams it dead center. Wasn't going to go too far if he didn't make it either. Nice clean putt. Anthony here to go 4 for 4. So look at this beautiful background here.
I know. Oh, just airballs it.
Oh, and this has trouble. Yeah, there's OB right behind it, and he has found it. It's gone from a birdie look to now bogey at best. But Garrett able to connect. Get a couple birdies in a row after missing the first 2. He's back on track for the round.
And this is not an easy comebacker, how fast it is behind this basket here.
Yeah, we saw his putt. He's got that fast putt. If he misses, he'll be outside the circle again, most likely.
Oh, and that's a lot of chains there to kick out again.
Yeah, just a bit high left. He's now going to take a double, taking away a couple of the birdies he's worked to get this so far.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot, In round 2, it happened to one of our players as well, and that something about that green and just the way that some of these baskets are placed, it just tends to roll away. But as we get into hole 5, par 4, 666 feet, play here is going to be a big turnover backhand. We kind of joked in the round 2 to not hit that bunker, but it can happen if you get a lot behind it. Forehand is a good play here as well. Really just positioning yourself into what's the most comfortable shot to attack this green, and avoiding the golf green and the drop-off long. I like this basket placement a lot.
Yeah, I like the change as well. It's got that really steep drop-off behind it. And this
does stay in bounds, but that's a lot of turn. Maybe a bigger left to right than he thought, just kind of pushing it all the way over.
It's pretty nice to get back in bounds over there. He's gotten a good ways down the fairway and should have a good chance for birdie now.
And after the reset there, something distracted him there, and just early.
Needs a good kick and roll out, and it doesn't look like it gets it. That'll be a pitch out.
For sure. And Ricky actually disking down to a fairway, it looks like here, after going long into that bunker on hole 2.
Yeah,
in round 2 here.
Yeah, distance isn't really all that crucial on this hole.
And reading the wind perfectly. This is...
Wow, is he going to reach the bunker with his fairway?
I was about to say, this is a fairway driver, and Ricky has put it just short of the bunker. That you can't really place it any better than that here on hole 5.
Yeah, with the way he's got that spin, that could just be a jump putt up shot for him.
Yep.
Or a little forehand touch shot. He's got wide open, whatever he's most comfortable with. Another big turnover shot here that's just fading out a bit early.
Had the right height, but...
And we saw it fall down there. I don't know if he'll have a look or not.
Yeah, if you move far enough down there, it does kind of open up where they've kind of cleared some of those trees as Scott pitches out and gets some crazy ground play there as that flips over.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to have so much movement in there. He had a full swing, but good upshot. He'll be able to pitch up and down for par from there fairly easily.
Look at his stance here.
It looks like
Anthony.
AB does have a little bit of room. He's going to go for the green.
No way.
It goes too far and out of bounds long. How do you...
From the stance that he had to go out of bounds long, he did throw a fairway driver, I believe, at a lot of spot. Oh, Garrett.
Yeah, you just can't expect it to go that far when you don't get to move like that. And
Garrett, I believe, just held on a little bit and clipped the tree early and is going to have to throw from nearly the exact same position.
Oh, wow. Is he...
He does stay safe on the upshot. But rare miss there from Gurthie.
Yeah, he's got great touch. It's strange to see. Ricky's going to be up there nice for his birdie.
Scott after his pitch out. Just a simple approach from here.
And he does so nicely. Well played after the errant drive.
This is a pretty long comebacker when you go out of bounds here.
Yeah, he's still got a chance to get his par now. Hopefully he's not thinking about the last hole and is able to focus on this putt. And jams it. What a great mindset to be able to turn around, jam that par putt.
Yeah, and you can see the body language on AB there as he's walking up, definitely realizing he went for it. And, I mean, we were shocked on that upshot to be able to go long, but does come back and does save the par. Yeah.
Unfortunate bogey there from Garrett. Pretty strange to see, but way to clean it up. He got a second chance at the shot and did what he was supposed to.
And Ricky with the lone birdie here on 5. It's pretty rare. I mean, this hole does play because it is a shorter par 4. You can get so much off that drive, and it seems that green, even though as close it is, doesn't come into play too much. But yeah, to get the only birdie on the card, that's pretty rare here. As we move into hole 6, the shortest hole on the course, but definitely not the easiest when it comes to what you have sitting in front of you. This large body of water here, and green that is not out of bounds where the basket is placed here, but anything that goes out of bounds does go to the drop zone. And a true island hole, one of the signature holes here, but it really just it's more of a straight shot off the tee. It does look like it would be more of a hyzer, and Ricky just absolutely perfection.
Yeah, not much wind today. Wind is what really makes this hole kind of stand out as a signature. When it's as calm as it is today, I really expect to see 4 shots inside of 25 feet here.
Yeah, played as one of the easiest holes on the course here in the final round. Scott fading early here. Does make it onto the green.
That should be safe. It's not a good shot, but it's safe.
And I like how he put it.
Yep.
It's not a good shot, but it's safe.
Sometimes, that's not a, like you said, not a bad thing, but it is safe.
That's all you can do sometimes.
Yep. He's got the putt going, so
Yeah,
not feeling too bad about it. See if AB can bounce back here after get back on the birdie train. That's definitely the way to do it. Good speed control, great angle. Really checking up on that hill short seems to be the best way to not push any long. And like I said, with the wind, not too many rollaways.
And also does make the island, but is outside the circle. This will be the scariest putt of the 4.
Oh, not just at the 4. I mean, this is the scariest putt on this property. I mean, if you're outside circle on this green, man, it is absolute death putt. And
Yeah, he did it justice, though. He gave it a bid and hit
Yep.
high instead of low, so good bid from him. Scott just missing a little bit left there. Bit uncharacteristic. We've seen him putting well so far, but it is a scary green. But I am quite surprised to see that we're only going to get 2 birdies here.
Yeah, with the conditions, it's definitely, it's played, like I said, one of the easiest holes on the course today, averaging 2.33. So almost a full stroke under par. And Ricky just definitely playing into that full stroke under par, getting the birdie. And there'll be pars for 2 of our players here on 6.
Yeah, but now they will have a chance to make that up on hole 7, a 432-foot par 4, but it is riddled with all sorts of trouble around the basket. You've got this OB green, these 2 hazard bunkers, and if you crest that hill, you will most likely go out of bounds on the cart path long. There's a layup short of this green, but I imagine we'll see all 4 of these players go for it.
Yeah, another one of these short par 4s, but like I said, so much danger that is there. And the common play here really is to just put it high like this and know that you're probably going to find a bunker, but you're going to have a birdie putt.
Yeah, this is looking right out of his hand, but it skips over top of the bunker. Let's take a look at Ricky's form here.
And Ricky taking this so long, reaching so far back. I love the way he turns his head and just really lets the body pull his head through the shot, make sure he's not leaving any energy behind. And he's going to tap an eagle here on 7. And this is one of those holes that if you're feeling the momentum, you're ready to attack. But if not, it's a pretty simple birdie. If you're able to lay up. But let's see.
And this is looking...
Yep, almost getting over the bunker. But I think that's a good stop.
Yeah, I think if it would have made it over top of that, it could have gone OB long, which would put him back at the drop zone.
Yep.
He'll have a much better chance from 3 being in that bunker.
Scott with a more direct approach at it instead of going too wide.
And this is going to get a pretty big skip, I think. And it does skip right into that bunker. He'll also be putting for his 3.
And Garrett stepping up to the hole that he did ace just 2 years ago. And, man, what a moment that was, seeing if he can replicate it. It's a good line.
Still looking just a bit right, and it gets a backwards bounce into the bunker. Pretty unfortunate. But just that's this green. That's the par 4 nature of it.
Definitely.
Scott with the first putt.
Pretty lengthy, but nails it for the birdie. It's an odd feeling to know that you're putting from hazard and getting a birdie. But like you said, I think it's a good design. It lets you choose to be able to say, do you want to have a putt to save your birdie, or do you want to throw 2 shots and then be able to get it close? Interesting footing here for AB as he's kind of on the wall of the bunker here.
Yeah, putting out of this sand, it's sometimes you feel like you have a solid stance and then you make an extra movement and your foot just falls into it. And I don't know if that happened or not, but he did come up just low.
Garrett from just a little bit closer, but still in that sand. And being that he is a straddle putter, I feel like it's a little easier to get your feet set, really in any setting as a straddle putter, but especially when you're in sand here.
Yeah, straddle putting, your weight is more even on both feet rather than just one.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes it a little softer in the sand for sure. And able to connect for the birdie. This hole averaging almost a full stroke under that par at a 3.2. It was the easiest hole on the course today.
Which is really surprising to hear. I mean,
well, I think it's Garrett and Scott showing you why. You know, you can throw your stock hyzer shot and be out of bounds in the hazard and still pretty easily get your birdie. So
yeah, maybe taps in the par.
PDG Event Support Helpline.
Hey, I want to run my first event, but I'm worried I'm a little in over my head.
Well, we need new event directors, so I'd be happy to help with anything you need.
Can you help me set up my registration page?
Absolutely.
What about publishing tee times?
Couldn't be easier.
Do you know anything about investment strategies?
It's not really our area of expertise here, but I would personally think long-term and diversify.
Ooh, I should short Tesla. I mean, I want to short something. Shorting is good, right?
As we move into hole 8, 427 feet, downhill par 3. Really the forehand, if you're a right-handed player, is the best here. The danger comes if you push long beyond that cart path. And these little greens here are not out of bounds. But yeah, if you got that power forehand, which a lot of our players here on this card do, downhill, really the only thing to avoid is this bush, kind of palm bush shrub kind of thing here. You're going to see if you want to go above it or if you want to go inside it.
And Ricky going right above it. This looks like a fantastic line.
Oh, and it hits the sponsor square there on the basket and just sits perfectly.
Couldn't have been better. And not many people really have the power to do that, even though this is downhill. It's still 427 feet. Scott going with that inside line to try to stand it up to get that distance, but doesn't quite get the stand up. He'll have a pretty tough look for birdie.
And Garrett disking down to the mid-range here, going for more of that turnover line. Being that it's downhill, if you can get the angle right, just kind of let it fade all the way to the right.
Yeah, I've seen some players going a bit further inside, but then letting it flex back out at the end. And Garrett does that, but does it too far, which is still, Garrett territory there.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people are going to throw that 40 foot past the basket like that.
Someone who can throw this about 100 feet past the basket with this downhill, Anthony Barela's forehand. See if he can. Someone who has to kind of dial back the power, which is a crazy thing to say on a distance this hole. He is going to go more of a hyzer.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it out of the hand, though.
He's
It looks
gonna be
early.
over there close to where Scott's at, but does get a little further. That was moving fast.
Yeah, Scott just laying up, knowing that out of bounds is right behind. It's a good play. Garrett as well.
Yeah, that low ceiling there kind of prevents him from doing a whole lot. And AB getting just effortless distance there. He didn't like it. I honestly didn't think it looked good out of the hand either, but it is up here.
But it is just off the cage and right. And we'll get to Ricky's drive here in a little bit, but Barela to save the par. Good confident stroke coming back. A little bit different in his putt this year. In previous years, really had that just driven hard putt. Was known for a good amount of spit outs, or he would miss really far long. But it seems like he's really kind of correcting that, a little bit more up to down motion, switching up the actual putter mold, and now being able to have a little bit more control.
Yeah, and that moves us into hole 9, a 641 foot par 4. with a great change from last year, moving the basket from in front of this OB hazard bunker to behind it. To make it a much more challenging upshot, you really have to dial the distance in perfectly. If you get just a bit too far, it's easy to go into that cart path, and just a bit short, you'll be putting with an extra stroke.
Yeah, and one of the really most enjoyable drives, I feel like, on this course, getting hit this gap and then just kind of let it fade.
Yeah, I think over top of that last bare tree that you see on the left is the best play. It gets you out to the left side where you have a wide open choice of a forehand into the green, which is the best play. Or if you're really confident in that backhand, it opens it up a bit more.
Yeah, and there's Scott listening to you right there, just letting it fade left. See if Garrett wants to bite off a lot of distance here, maybe flip it up a little bit more, put it close. He's known for those like huge, hyzers over the top, but his hyzer flip game is not something to forget about, but this is held on a little bit long.
Yeah, and gets through nicely. He did
It's that speed he has.
Yeah, he did hang
it.
onto that, but it came out so fast, just punches right through those trees. He'll still be far enough out to attack the green if he chooses to.
Clipping on the way out as well, Barela. I think he got far enough out there to not be in too bad of a spot, but he still has the fairway driver in his hand, so must have kicked him pretty quickly down.
He's got a long forehand here, which, whichever distance he's got dialed in, this could help him out if he's got that 320 dialed in with a specific disc. And he's stood it up a little straight. Quite straight, actually, and he's pushed out long, but very safe. He should have a fairly easy pitch up for par, just has to avoid going long.
And Garrett just going mid-range here. Just needs to slow down.
And look at that distance control.
There is not many players in our game that are as good at that high floaty hyzer distance control as Garrett Gurthie. There's not many. I think as the European players have started to come over, their approach game kind of matches the ground and has that style. But gosh, Garrett Gurthie with that nice little wrist snap is it's incredible.
As far as wide open technical backhand shots go, what Garrett just did is about the most technical you can do in the wide open space like that. That was an incredible shot. And Scott gets up there with a nice easy forehand, being over on that left side.
Ricky hanging on just a little bit long to this one.
Yeah, this looks a little hot.
He needs to get past that tree to have a clean look.
And he is centered behind it.
It's going to be tough, and we'll get to AB after holding on.
About 100 foot long of the pin. Uh-oh.
Okay, it does stay safe from this view. Definitely looked like it had the chance to get up and roll. And as we predicted, Ricky just in a really awkward spot behind this one tree. Trying to get the footing right.
And
needs to sit
that's
down,
about
come
worst
back.
case scenario right there. Oh, but it does.
Okay, it does. I was like, it does curl.
You don't see it come back in real often on these sidewalks.
No.
They're very slick.
They're incredible. Even walking on them.
Yeah, I was about to say you could probably skate down them if you really wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
with your shoes
Yeah,
on.
I was like, without skates.
Yeah.
Scott, after a great upshot, has this left for the birdie.
And connects no problem. That'll put him 4 down through this front 9. Which is a pretty solid score, but on a day like today, you are looking to push a bit harder.
And Ricky, after that unfortunate tree hit, going to be having this for par. Makes good. And this one tree just tends to just pull discs to it. As thankfully Garrett is, that close enough, and being the straddle putter, not too big of an issue here. But
Yeah, from where he was at, he will take this putt, I believe. That was still just...
Yeah, I mean, just an absolute display of talent and control for the birdie there. And Barela tapping out to a par, and that wraps up the front nine here on the final day at the end of a course. And our card a little bit slow to start. Ricky, picking up that eagle on 7 after an incredible drive, 6 down. And then the rest of our card, 4 down, 2 down, 3 down. And on a day like today, we're going to check in with our leaderboard here. We got players going 9 through 9.
Yeah, you see all these numbers here on that top 10 leaderboard. None of them are below 5 down through that front 9.
Adam Hammis, 9 through 9. Just an incredible showing so far here. And the conditions on the final day, perfect for it. It's what you want to see. I mean, it's the last day of the first tournament of the year. Talk a little about the back nine as we kind of are heading into this and what we can expect with these kind of conditions.
Yeah, these conditions, the back nine is just as attackable as the front, so there's going to be plenty of opportunity for these players to still make some moves.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Be sure to like and subscribe here at Gatekeeper Media. My name is Mitch Phillips, joining me Nathan Queen, and we're going to be taking you to the final 9 holes here at the Las Vegas Challenge, and we'll see you there real soon.
We'll see you guys out there.